There seems to be a theme developing this year that the Class 1 competitors have the worst luck. Sadly, Argyll was to be no exception.
4, 3, 2, 1, go 40 through the gate to left, 6, 100 up. Right 1, 8.
First to go was the luckless Scott Sloan 100 yards into stage 1. Something snapped underneath and pitched him off the road. The impact in the ditch enough to bend the chassis leg on his Corsa. Next to go was Scott Peacock. A rock in stage 4 bending a wheel and the MG slipped off the road as he tried to nurse it to the end of the stage. All of this carnage left Stephen Crockett with a 52-second lead, right up to the point when the distributor failed. That was his second in 1 week after the same failure at a pre-event test. Electronic ignition is now on the way. Sole survivor was the MG of Neil Cowan Jr. and Thomas Bruce. Even they were lucky. A double puncture in stage 3 would have put them out had Donald Peacock not lent them his spare. They did finish, however, and now hold a commanding class lead. It was a cruel day for James Campbell and Kevin McIver, retiring on the last stage of the rally. Despite a stage 2 puncture and 6 minutes of road penalties, Jamie Stewart said he thought these were some of the best stages he'd driven. The 205 taking a solid second in class. Finishing with only 3 forward gears left and a failing alternator, Tom Howie and Charles Mackenzie were happy to take the class win in the Sunbeam. This result bolsters their championship points lead. Ryan Ingram's Civic was the first to go in Class 3, losing all gears after second service. Also in gearbox strife, Ross Hughes lost second gear early on, conveniently the gear he needed the most in a C2 on these stages. Then a drive shaft failed on the second loop. A Herculean effort in second service saw Ross and the team change the drive shaft in just 15 minutes. Sadly, the C2 would lose all drive on the final stage, leading to a frustrating retirement. On the bright side, his fantastic efforts were recognised as he was awarded the John Horton Star Driver win in Argyll. Third in class, Drew Barker and Shona Hale were happy that the car made the finish without the major overheating issues that has plagued them for most of the year. Taking their best result of the season with second in class was the 106 crew of Nikki Addison and Rachel Matheson.
Right 5 no cut, left 1. 50, left 1, again, 250. Caution crest, turn right 4, left 2. This one, okay, caution crest, turn right 4, left 2. 50 uphill, left 1 over crest and right 1.
At the top of the class, Keith and Kirsty Riddick were flying in their MG, despite Kirsty suffering with a heavy cold. They spent the day embroiled in an epic battle with the Mark II of Paul McErlane and Niall McKenna, over second in the two-wheel drive standings. At the end of the day, they took a fantastic 13th overall and third two-wheel drive car home, just 16 seconds back from the Escort. John and Megan O'Kane unfortunately slipped off the road in SS6. Douglas Watt was happy to take third in class on his home event after an enforced rebuild of the car following an off on the Scottish. Second in class, Jim Robertson and Mike Curry survived a scary moment when a brake pipe burst. Thankfully it happened on one of the less hilly stages. Despite this, they survived to take a solid second in class. Two minutes up the road at the finish, Fraser McNichol and Andy Brown discovered a broken damper going into the last stage. It was a bumpy ride, but they made the finish in 15th overall and 5th two-wheel drive crew. Ernie Lee had to retire his BMW with broken steering and a burst hose discovered in second service. Fastest over the stages, Ian and Sandy Milne were hit with a 14-minute road penalty after they misread the regulations about the timing. And taking the win, David and Douglas Cameron were forced to take it easy after they developed some concerns over their engine. They made it to take their first class win of the year. Both Ali Curry and Grant McRae failed to make the finish in their Fiestas. Out with new suspension on the Fiesta, Stephen and Mary Wood had a great run to 16th overall at the finish, maintaining their class points lead. And 2 minutes up the road, Paul McArlane and Niall McKenna took 12th overall at the finish after a fantastic fight with the Riddick MG. Paul saying he finally felt he was back on the pace he was at before their big accident last year, and there is still even more to come from the Irish crew. Seventeenth overall in their first SRC event this year, Keith Robinson and Phil Sandham were happy that the car only suffered from a loose sump guard throughout the day. Fourteenth overall and second in class despite a small off and a puncture, it was also a good day out for Gordon Murray and David O'Brien.
Right one in, crest, 70, left one in over crest, 40, left one in and right one in, 50, crest mid 80, long right one over crest over 50, keep in, go 80, to caution, bad left 4, in over crest narrows, there's the left 4, watch this one, C120 down, well done.
11th overall in the class win went to Greg McKnight and Harry Marchbank, although they were a little disappointed to lose out on the top 10 over the last stage to the Impreza of Ian Baumgart. Despite this, they were very happy with another two-wheel drive and class win over these stages that probably didn't suit the big Escort. They now lie an impressive 4th overall in the championship.